Welcome to Climate Quickies, bite-sized nuggets of climate goodness from our TEDxLondon experts in under 10 minutes.
In this week's Climate Curious, we're soaking in the wisdom of the natural world via the perspective of a Hollywood actor. Asking the question, what is humanity's place on this planet? Today we're hearing from Lakota Country actor from the hit show Yellowstone, Mo Brings Plenty. He shares how he finds a sense of belonging and peace by simply appreciating the natural world around him. On how to find your place on this planet and live without fear, here's Mo Brings Plenty. Stay curious.
It is important that we all come together. If we don't come together, then we're going to lose the battle. I mean, it's definitely not too late. This is not a doom and gloom talk that I'm giving here. This is okay, now's the time. Let's don't wait another 5 years or 10 years. The further away from nature we become, the harder our hearts are going to become, and the more carelessness we're going to live with or occupy the earth with, and therefore we're going to self-exterminate. I mean, we could say we're putting the climate in a bad situation or making the environment, we're placing it in a sense of endangerment, but really, we're placing ourselves as a human race in endangerment. I mean, you look at the history of every civilized group of people and how long did they last? 300 to 600 years before they self-exterminated. And so we have to come to the understanding that, like I said, it's not too late. And it's not a whole lot of change. It's just a little step back. I'm not asking us to go back 100 years or 500 years. No, it's just a little step back. That's it. And we can still continue to utilize the instruments and the tools that have been placed in our possessions today. But we have to also preserve the environment for the generations to come, because we all share the same atmosphere. What happens in Japan is going to affect the States. What happens in the States, it's going to affect here, the UK. It goes around the world. We all share the same atmosphere. We all look at the same sun. We look at the same moon. We see the same stars. We're all in this together. And this is the only planet in this galaxy that is livable for us, for beings like us. If you eliminated the trees out of the world would perish. We would all perish. But if you eliminated the human race off the planet will flourish. So we better understand that, okay, we need to learn that. Those are the greatest professors as well. And why are they the greatest professors? When a buffalo calf is born, the moment it enters this world, it knows and speaks the language of its people. We are the only creatures of all creation that are born without the ability to speak a language. Nor can we walk in a matter of minutes. We are the only ones born without kneecaps. So our only form of communication is kicking and crying. That is it. But yet, when a baby horse is born, it knows and speaks the language of its people, and it can walk in a matter of minutes from the time of its birth. When a wolf pup is born, same. You could take a seed, you could take an acorn. Oh, it doesn't know how to communicate, it doesn't speak, I can't hear it, but you throw that on the ground and you walk away. That acorn knows when to begin its growth. You lay an infant, a human child, and a human infant on the ground, that human infant's going to die in a matter of days because it knows nothing. So why is the environment important? Because a great knowledge of understanding of how to live with this planet is there. Now, I'm not saying that going to the university is a bad, no, we need that also. So, and we could have both. And that way, why is both important? Because then we're going to be able to see this, what is invisible will now appear line of what not to cross. So it's important. Right now, we're smothering the ocean. That's why the jet stream's out of whack. We're smothering it. It's that simple. We're smothering it. Live without fear. And what I mean by that is that why people have stepped away from nature is because they're so fearful of it, because of how people view whether it's a bear or a wolf. We made them predators, but really we as human beings, we are the most vicious predators the world has come to know. And so if you live without fear, then you're going to gain an understanding, and you're going to be able to observe how the environment functions. There's an ecosystem. And we fit as human beings. We are designed to fit within that ecosystem to where it'll never disrupt it, because not only have my people done it for centuries and generations, so has the traditional people throughout the UK, throughout India, throughout Asia, all over the world. We all come from a tribe somewhere. And we have tribal ancestry. We all come from original languages that nature was kind enough to give with us, to share with us, and so, as I stated early on in our interview, that we are the only creatures that are born without a language. And so, like my people, the Buffalo Nation, the Buffalo is the ones that were kind enough to give us a language. And the horses, we've always had horses long before the Spanish took theirs to the States. We've always had horses. And so the horses were that constant reminder of how to be with one another, be helpful. At times we may have to carry our loved ones or our friends when they are going through struggles, and how to maintain that social structure. The horses were that constant reminder when they lived with us. And so live without fear. Because there is so much to learn. There is so much to see and to experience. And there's a whole world. We have a saying now with Julian and Jean-Paul, there's a whole world to fall in love with. So if you live without fear, you're going to give yourself a fair opportunity to come to know that world. And when you come to know that world, you're going to be a part of it. You're going to see where you belong. You're going to see your purpose in life. Because so many people live in a state of confusion, and because they're in the state of confusion, they feel like they keep asking, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? I'm trying to find my purpose. Nature has that purpose for you. It has the instructions for you to understand that purpose. And so you have to turn back to that. Don't forget that. I didn't attend a university or a college. I went to the University of the Universe, which is nature. Those were my professors and my guides. My guidance came from my teachers, from my elders, from my teachers in the classrooms. They kept saying, look over there too, because that is going to be a part of your life. You need that just as much as you need this in your life to live. And so live without fear.
It's such a powerful phrase, because I think you don't even realize you're living in fear, but you actually are. It's like, how about just let it be? The more you're uncomfortable, in a good way. There is a sense of uncomfort in a negative or in a bad situation. I would never put myself in a bad situation. But outside of that, when it came to nature, when I was able to step away from my comfort zone and place myself in a way to feel discomfort, is when I began to learn. And that's the end. That's a wrap. Like acting. I mean, for me to grow in this business, I had to be uncomfortable. Yeah, I had to. Absolutely. And that's what I love about nature, is that, it's the same thing, but the difference with nature and society is nature is brutally honest.
Thanks for listening to this quickie.
This episode was created by our superstar podcast team at TEDxLondon. Until next time,
Stay curious.